Okay, I'm gonna go. Yeah, again, warm welcome. Warm welcome to those beautiful faces on Zoom. And yeah, like I said before we start officially, I hope you won't mind. Lubo is missing today. And we're gonna be together for about 1 hour, so maybe 30 minutes or 20. We'll see how it goes. Hey, Annabelle. And the aim or the impulse or the desire for that meeting is always about awakening, or what seemed to preventing awakening, what seems is in the way of awakening, or is there such thing as awakening, and how the awakening reflects our experience. And today I pick a title, and we can start as always from the title or from that, and then we can share what feels true for us. And it goes like, I wanted to put it somewhere to not have, I think it was something like debunking the myth of I can't wake up. Yeah. Mm. Yeah. Debunking. Is it correct, like pronounced? Debunking the myth, I can't wake up. I can't wake up. Yeah.
It's a kooky English word.
Oh, I love that word. I love these cookies. Hey, good to see you.
Right, I'm
Mm,
just gonna eat, so I'll keep myself muted and chomp
sure.
away.
Yeah, please. Hmm. So we can start here reflecting on one of the really funny aspects of this game that probably all of us experience something similar, like all the world is awake, or all the world is gonna wake, and only me. So I'm so miserable, so fucked up, so like so that only I am not gonna be able to wake up for the truth of what I am. And here lies a great pointer, because this is also a subtle identification. It is a very subtle identification. I am something here, separate from the rest. The world is here, awake, and I'm here, apart from it, in total delusion. And we can start from here, seeing in our own experience that this is, such a beautiful way of, like a brilliant way of the ego, so-called ego, to create a separation, to create something or someone that is not there where it thinks it has to be. Yeah. And we can also acknowledge the fact that we are here already, and without a thought or without a belief or a doubt that I am not awake, all there is here is awakeness. It's awakeness that brought us together right now, that brought these seemingly different experiences to come together in the name of something greater, vaster, much bigger than what the ego thinks we are. And we can acknowledge that. Yeah, without the need to awake, there is only awakeness. This is also something that we can reflect on. Another way of looking at that is the one that wants to awaken or the one that is not awake. Both these parts or these characters are different sides on the one coin. So these two are not here. They are not existing. They are nowhere to be found at experience. It's like I can't wake up. I can't because I, as such, does not exist. There is only awakeness. It's already the case, we could say, already. Yeah, right now when we drop all the ideas, everything, all the attempts, all of our journey, all the years of walking here and there, practicing this and that, hoping for something, hoping for an end. Yeah, we can drop all of that. And when this is dropped, what remains here? What is here? What is here prior? All thoughts and sensations and emotions and more longings. What is here prior? All words. Yeah, this brought us together. Yeah, also another way to look at that myth, I can't wake up. Or I came across the different types of beliefs that awakening, so-called awakening, is possible only for some of us, for some chosen ones, for some wise sages somewhere in the mountain, or for some very dedicated practitioners with 10, 15, 20 or more years of practice, some Zen monks, some Indian gurus. But yeah, that's simply not the case. It's our birthright, each one of us. And each one of us, like it's longing for that. The wholeness is longing for that through each one of us in a way. So we cannot not like long for that. The longing comes from within. It's not I wish, you wish. No, it came from nowhere, from somewhere nowhere. The longing for something else, for truth, freedom, liberation. Mm. Mm. Yeah, I can't wake up. It's just another story that I tell myself. Sometimes. Yeah, and we don't have to judge that. We can embrace that with curiosity and compassion. And just to notice that probably that's a little bit of identification, subtle identification happening. Yeah, when there is glimpse or a realization or a very like expanded experience, there is a clear seeing, and we all can confirm that from experience, that awakening is not for me. I cannot awaken. What I am is awake. It's awakeness already being the case. Awakening is simply from the dream that I was asleep or I was confused. Mm. It's such a fancy story. Awakening is to become whole again. Awakening is to, in my experience, to include all these different parts, different layers, different aspects of our experience that we somehow, not we, but this ego part consider as wrong, bad, not good enough, not spiritual enough, not awake enough. So awakening in a way is coming home with all of that, with all, like the whole spectrum of our experience, without rejection, without any exclusion. Yeah, I think that's okay for now. It's just sharing what's alive here, and as always, an invitation is to share what comes for you and to see, to expose some beliefs or ideas or some fancy stories here, and to have fun with those, to dance with these stories. If you want to share something, just unmute yourself and share.
I think I was having a conversation like this last night, actually, talking about awakening with my partner, and me saying, "Well, I think I'm not awake yet. Like I'm not, and I've got a path to go on. I have work to do. I have an idea that there are like enlightened beings out there who have completely detached from the sense of I and have a abiding disconnect, watching it all, the whole process, all the algorithms, everything playing, and no longer have to do any work of, oh wait, that's not me. Oh wait, that's not me. But then even in saying that I'm not awake, I was like, wait a second, that thought I'm not awake is just a thought, and that's not the thing that's going to wake up anyway. The awakeness is already happening.
So beautiful. Yeah. 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 This belief that it's for some, it's so good to see that. True. Like this, because ultimately there are no others. And when this is seen, it's like the attempt to differentiate or distinguish, I'm here and the rest is there, collapses. There are no others. There are no. It's different aspects. At least in my experience, it's different aspects from what I am. I'm seeing, yeah, this, I'm meeting myself right now, and everyone is meeting themselves as well. Isn't that amazing? Mm.
Yeah, I don't mind talking, Luciana.
Oh, please, for always such a pleasure. Such a joy.
Yeah. I was saying that like the other week that I've had a little bit of a insight into the understanding that I exist,
I
you know,
remember very well. Yeah.
and that seems to be maturing a little bit. And I find myself a lot more peaceful, massively spacious.
Mm.
Um, And it's funny actually because now when I have a look at YouTube videos now, as soon as someone mentions exist or existence, I'm all over it. It's just wow. And I'm looking over like previous save YouTube videos, and everybody is saying the same thing about resting in being and resting in your true nature. I mean, even you said that in the build up as a meditation, what is there before a thought arises or before an emotion arises or before an experience? Well, existence, we're there.
We're that, yeah.
It's just so simple and yet so obvious on that side of the fence. But it's like, for me, where I am at the moment, it's like two sides of the same coin. The seeking stopped and I'm just resting in that.
Mhm.
But the belief of this separate self is still intact. So even though it feels like to me, it feels like the grip is loosening. But then I was just thinking today that if that's the case, that it's not really there, then there's nothing to loosen, as it were. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Hmm.
But I mean, it's hard to sort of like come around now when there's nothing happening in my life situation. The ego goes so quiet. And when I'm alone and I'm just like resting in being, resting in existence, as I call it, I mean, I'm having a minute or 2 minutes of total peace. I mean, it's just a wonderful, beautiful, spacious feeling. And yet, I could come out of that and someone could say a few words to me, or I could have a live situation, and then I'm getting triggered.
Hmm. Hmm.
And I'm thinking, wow, I've gone from this beautiful, infinite spatial spaciousness to immediately getting, I won't say immediately, but if I've got a live situation. So the belief for me underneath, because when I investigate into the senses or investigate, I mean, I've just been out hiking now, and as I'm walking,
Hmm.
I look for the doer. So as I'm putting one step in front of the other, there's nobody there. There's nobody making that decision of putting one step in front of the other.
Absolutely, yeah.
Life is just lifing, and just the all expanse of but this is why I love hiking so much. The all expanse of the countryside. I'm just riding in the middle of it. So obviously, when I've done the liberation unleash exercises, which I still do, so I can't find
Hmm.
this I because it doesn't exist. And I've been doing this for 2 or 3 years, and yet underneath it only takes a few words of a life situation for the chatter to increase.
Yeah, yeah,
And then suddenly if I've got a life situation, it increases a little bit more, and then I'm on a bit of a rabbit wheel again.
yeah,
And don't get me wrong, it's getting less and less. This is what I'm seeing. It feels like it's
yeah.
diminishing and the periods and all that. But I don't know if you've got any comments on that. I don't know if there's a question there, but that's where I'm up to at the moment. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very common, Paul. It's very common.
Yeah.
It's not unusual. It's not something, yeah, it's not happening because you haven't done something in a proper way. That's simply not true, and you know that. It keeps coming, like the selfing part keeps coming to be seen again and again and again and again and again and again. And all the triggers are actually like a grace. This is grace, like invitation, graceful invitation to look at those. It wants to dissolve. That's why it keeps coming. It wants to be
Right.
done once and for all. It wants to this. It doesn't want to hang out, but it hang out.
Right.
Yeah,
I can
and
see that now. So just as you said that now, I'm probably there's a bit of resistance there to say,
yeah,
oh no, it's come again. I was feeling so peaceful and spacious. So rather, I think what I'm picking up from you is, just carry on the observing, just carry on the watching, and accept it coming as a graceful invitation to look again.
yeah,
Yeah.
because it wants to. Yeah, there is a constant invitation, and also to be curious. Yeah, it is amazing to rest in being, like in being.
Yeah.
I mean, I can do that for a whole day. Just sit and do, like, watch this beautiful view here, and eventually do it from time to time. But life life is inviting constantly for a dance, or yeah, and this is also grace, because the embodied experience of the awakening, so to speak, is to be able to move through life with that, and to live that fully. It's like to master the waves, because life comes on the waves.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's peaceful, sometimes it's very intense, sometimes it's like, oh, and the embodiment kicks here, like, okay, my dear, you're doing really great when you are alone, having your cup of tea, watching the beautiful sea. Let me see you when, whatever situation comes.
Yeah.
Because this is real mastering. Yeah.
Yeah. I think there's a famous quote, isn't there? Was it by Ram Dass to say that if you think you're enlightened, have a week with your family or something?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Eventually we have all come to that.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a constant opening. You already noticed that. We know, like, through experience, that it's not fixed. Like, there is one aha moment or one glimpse or shift, and then that's it. No, it's constant opening, constant unfolding and deepening. And that's the beauty. Like, only the mind, this energy here, like, it's thinking that, oh, there has to be an end to that. Finally, I'm gonna finish. I'm gonna put the flag and I said, okay, we are done. That's nonsense. Yeah, we can look at the mind with with sense of humor. Right? It's very funny guy. I mean, friend.
Another thing I've noticed on as well, I used to go in with a fixed inquiry type thing, a question, which to try and guide myself in and all that. But what's been happening when I really deeply relax is like questions come to, this is just like a spontaneous questions come
Right.
out of the blue. And what came out sort of like the other day is like, and I've watched your video, by the way, about death.
Oh,
Which absolutely blew my mind. Yeah. So thank you for that. And I think it was just after that that because I was like inquiring into like existence itself. And these questions just came out of the blue, and I thought, well, actually, with all the ups and downs I've had in my life and all the troubles and anxieties and fears and worries and all that, has anything actually touched existence? And can anything touch existence? And can thoughts touch exist? Or if you don't like the word existence, guys, you could put awareness or consciousness or being or whatever. I mean, my particular word at the time is existence, but can anything touch being? So you go on a crazy like identification for like 10 minutes, 20 minutes an hour and all that. But as being, has that actually affected your own being?
Never.
Never. It's
Never.
untouched. It's pure as the driven snow. Nothing can touch it. And it was such a beautiful inquiry to go through that. I haven't got to the point, Luciano, of having because after watching your video, I'm now asking the question, well, is existence dependent upon the mind or the body?
Mm.
Meaning, is it
Mm.
eternal?
Yeah.
I mean,
Is
I
it
mean,
depending on anything?
yeah, because I can clearly see that through my life. It doesn't come and go. It's constant. It is there all the time. So every time that you look for existence, or if you guys want to say awareness or consciousness, it's always there, unchanging. But I haven't got to the realization that it's eternal at this moment in time. But your video, yeah, was amazing on that. So that's
Oh,
opened another line of
thank
inquiry.
you for resonating with that. It's like a not so common, yeah, but I wanted to share that. I'm sharing the experience that I had with seeing through that
Yeah,
that isn't real, like something like that. Okay.
I can see that.
Thank you, Paul.
Thank you.
Mm. Yeah, like in my experience, mind and the so-called mind and body, they are not like existence is not depending on those, but it's through the mind and body existence can experience itself right now, speaking these words. This is existence speaking. It's not the body speaking. It's not the mind. It's not. Yeah, it's existence itself experiencing a human being right now in this very moment. And that's the beauty. And existence cannot die. Never. It was never born. It's eternal, always here.
I watched a Rupert Spearer video this week. And I've heard, when you like read books and then you read it again like 6 months
Yes.
later, you go,
Yes.
what? It always said that. And,
Yeah.
you pick it up.
Yeah.
Well, this Rupert Spearer book, I've heard this 1,000 times, been meditating on it. And yet the point just really hit home that I think Lubo said it a few weeks ago, be aware of awareness. It's the same thing as resting in being.
Yeah,
That
exactly.
is that is the only experience that doesn't go through the mind or the body. What? So if you're aware of being aware, you're not using the mind or the body. Right. I mean, it's just mind blowing just to think about that you're not using the body senses to be aware of
No,
your.
awareness is happening prior. It's something that is happening already.
What?
Hmm.
Just an unbelievable fact. So I was contemplating that for a day, actually, the other day.
Beautiful.
I don't think I've been able to have like an experience. oh, Words aren't very good at this, are they? But like in my practice that I've done, awareness seems to be happening when there's something to be aware of. Like bodily experience or a thought. And I haven't been able to find awareness without experience.
Mm-hmm.
And, my brain goes, well, when I sleep, the awareness switches off. It seems to anyway, as far as I know. And I haven't been able to look at just awareness without awareness being aware of something.
Could it be possible, awareness? In my experience, I could call that knowing, or to be separate from the experience. Are these two things? For example, right now, we can easily check in our own direct experience that if there is an experience of something, let's say, I don't know, feeling something, sensation of sitting on a chair, and there is a knowing of that simultaneously, effortlessly, without any distinction. It's not possible to experience something without the knowing of it, and it's not possible to know something without the experience of it. And while sleeping, in the deep sleep, what is that is saying in the morning, so to speak? Oh, I slept like a dead man. So there was knowing, yeah, of that still.
Yeah, maybe there was.
Yeah.
Another one, Ellie, is just ask, who am I? So when you ask, who am I, go in, where do you go to? You can do it now if you want.
Yeah, I've been doing that. It doesn't go anywhere. The experiences still happen, and that's just like, it kind of sits there.
Exactly. That's what it is. It's settling back at that source.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes, of course, anything can help. These questions can be really helpful. Sometimes something else may be more helpful than questioning or inquiring in this direct path, so to speak. Yeah, it could be just resting in being, resting in noticing what's going on right now. Oh, and also, yeah, if we receive as an answer of the question, who am I, silence, well, this is it. Yeah, what we are has no answer. We cannot be put it in anything. And yet, yeah, we are everything. Existence, what we are is everything. Permeates everything.
I'm playing with a wonderful exercise relating to that. I'm not sure if my internet's stable enough. I seem to
It's good for
keep
now.
coming
It's
and
good
going.
for now. For now, it's
Back
good.
with awareness. Can you hear me okay? Or is
Yes, yes.
it's good for now. So if when that awareness seems to be aware of something, it's focused. So I hear a sound and then my attention, like a torchlight, goes to that sound. Whereas if you just open, it's like zooming back. So you're zooming back so that all sounds are arising without focusing on any one sound. And it just opens up into, because it's like, how can I describe it? Seeing's happening. Seeing's the same. It's with every sense. Every sense, something's just arising. And we have no idea what's going to arise. It's just with a sense, something arises, awareness of my foot or a sensation. When that awareness arises of the foot, before I can call it a foot, there has to be language and logic. And I don't have to have that. I can just sense whatever it is that's arising. And then there's no body, really. There just is no body. If you're just aware, it's just a sensation arising, and a torch goes down onto my foot, and now there's a foot, and now there's a body.
Totally, yeah. Yeah, what we call
But if I
body.
stay
Yeah, go on. Sorry. Go on.
I stay very open, and so I'm not now labeling it. Or, sorry, go on. So if I stay just open and then just wait for the next thing to arise, it might be a sound, it might be a vision, and thoughts arise like sounds. So even a thought is just like another sound arising in whatever it is it's arising in that doesn't have a word or a name.
Yeah,
It's a wonderful thing to play with, to get rid of that idea of focusing. Like awareness is here; it's aware of something.
Yeah,
It just is. And just everything's coming up into it.
Yeah,
But you can
beautiful.
only feel it. Yeah.
Yeah, I love the way you put it with thoughts, because thoughts are usually considered as something very like a part, like more important than any other senses. But thoughts are just like clouds, like sounds, like sensations, like everything. Thoughts are not like, yeah. And when this is seen, when the importance of thoughts, the so-called, is seen through, yeah, how can I come to believe again for something that I was never been? Yeah, lovely. Yeah, there are different ways to look at thoughts. And again, whatever way works and resonates with you the most, this is the right way to look at thoughts. It could be direct pointing, it could be meditating, it could be this that Michael suggests. Very good exercise. Yeah, for me works really good. Like the futility or the like thoughts are coming to insist something and they're bringing nothing. They're empty. They're like the content of thought is empty. There is nothing there. It's empty. In the thought about pizza, there is no pizza there to eat. It's image of a pizza. No real pizza.
Mhm.
Mm. Mm.
You can't drown in the word water.
Mm.
Mm.
Mm. Mm. Yeah,
I'm
what is?
still kind of attached to the history, because even though it's just a thought arising,
Mhm.
even though that the thought's just arising, the history, and it'll be yesterday, and Paul was saying that he had, an epiphany, and that
Mhm.
Luchana, you said, yeah, I remember it well. And this is still a little bit confusing to me too, because that never happened in a way. It's just like something that's arising now.
Yeah,
And so this is really, and maybe it's just the mind getting involved, right? The mind's starting to, but it does drive the mind quite crazy to
it,
kind of have
it is just a
that.
thought pattern, like a habit that somehow is being in this habit is being invested a lot, and it's innocent. No one guilty about that. Like no one's fault. It's not our fault. It's not our parents' fault. No one's fault. It's just a habit that there is a lot of investment in that and just needs a little bit more time. Yeah, more looking. Something like, oh, why, yeah, why is this story so fascinating? What is so important? What this means about me? And there are events that are happening, and there are actions that can be that can happen towards those events or not, and that's okay. But the story is optional. The story attached is optional. So we can go and do many things, like there can, like a doing may arise, but the story that I am here doing something is optional. Moving to another country may happen. No one done that.
It is a trap, isn't it? Being locked in the stories of the past and the future and not being here. But that keeps you away from being here.
Yeah.
All the stories.
Yeah. And it's like not keep, like the moment there is a noticing that, oh, I'm playing that, like, oh, what's going on here? What is that is being trapped? What is that is being deluded? Ah, and then gone. The moment we see through something, it's gone. There is no need to still go there and
I know with me, Luciano, when I get identified, it's just not the thought, it's the pull of the feeling as well.
yeah.
So I think the mind's got different, I would say different tactics. So it's like if there's a particular life situation, it'll go for fear or whatever, you know, everything's going to go wrong and, you know, magnify it.
Of course,
Everything's going to
of
go wrong.
course.
I'm going to be homeless. I'm going to lose all my money, my house, my kids. Everything's going to, on one side,
Disaster.
yeah,
Yeah.
disaster. That's just after a few comments or something. Or the other one, it can subtly say, "Oh no, it's going to be great, this and all that," and you can start fantasizing a little bit, you know, and it's, about stuff, and it's a little bit of it's got a more subtle thing of doing it. And even sometimes when you see through it, it comes in the back door. Comes in the back door a little bit, and to me, I've got one like a little alter ego that wants to tell people about all this non-duality, you see. Even though I haven't quite seen through it, wants to be some type of guru or teacher or whatever, it's like, or whatever. So I really pick up on that. So I think it's got little subtle tactics that seem to up you a little bit, I think. So
Yeah, we can again embrace that with love and compassion, and also there is a good part in that, because it is so natural. When we feel something good, when we have opening, when we have something like, we want to share that, we want to give that.
Yeah.
It's like, why you can be free also, These meetings are happening because of that wish. Yeah, it's not bad to desire to share something. Yeah. And also some about like the projection of not the projection, but we could say that it's projection, that the worst, the nightmare will happen. This is like a weird way of care. And if we ask that energy, hey, what are you doing? You scares me. And the energy softens, or to ask the energy, what are you doing that? And the answer will immediately come, because I want you to be safe. Yeah, you want me to be safe by saying you're gonna lose everything. Everything is gonna be total mess. Yeah, it's like a weird way of care. It's like a harsh parent, very harsh parent, because the parent loves the child, but sometimes it is harsh. So sometimes this voice is like a very, very tough parent, harsh parent, very, yeah. And there is a medicine for that. When the experience becomes here, when we start gaining more and more trust in our own direct experience, in how we feel, what is this here, the voice becomes softer, lighter, kinder. Yeah, this is how it works. Yeah, thoughts, this energy follows the experience.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I keep wanting to say something and then I don't say anything. Now I feel a bit sleepy actually, but let's see what as I'm digesting. Yeah, when you were talking about habits, Michael, like that word really resonated. I'm really feeling like there's an awareness of the critic, maybe, an awareness of the doubter, an awareness of the controller. That's the big one that I've been noticing, the controller who wants to control. And then wants to narrate on top and say, well, how can you do anything without controlling? How could anything happen without that? So I'm noticing that. And then I've also been doing quite a bit of dance. I've started doing contact improvisation dance, which is so good.
That's amazing.
Oh my God. And they're just the most lovely people. But it's almost like I'm stepping into a new life, like a life of flow, a
Yes.
life beingness, just beingness. And when I'm in the dance, I'm very, very present to that. And I went yesterday when I arrived at class, I had a bit of a Barney with my daughter and I was a bit upset and I just was noticing the story. There was a story, like a story of this thing has happened. And then I'm dancing and moving and noticing the real subtleties of the flow of energy when I'm more there, when I'm less there. And there was one point I was dancing and I felt a bit self-conscious dancing with this guy. And then my mind starts thinking, oh, what are you going to do next? Oh, what move do? And it's like, stop it, Annabelle. And I just kind of left the space and went to the side of the room. It was so glaringly obvious that simply to be having a thought was a ridiculous notion.
Yeah. Yeah. But again, trying to to help. Like, watch out how you're gonna move now.
Well, yeah, I suppose that what the dance is showing is, I mean, it really is about kind of teaching the flow, like the body knows what to do and the senses know what to do. It's all just there.
Yeah.
But it's like going to, I don't know, flow school or something. Like, okay, so I've got this part that's still got that old habit of, well, you have to do it like this, Annabelle, and you must be organized and you need to sit down and you must do some typing on your computer and you must blah 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 blah. I don't know what it's saying, but it thinks I should be doing something and getting things done. I'm actually not doing anything except noticing that bloody voice at the moment. But I'm sure something will happen. But yeah,
Yay.
I'm
I'm
just I'm
I'm
really
so
enjoying the fun coming in though. There's more fun arriving.
yes to
But
that. Yes to that.
yeah, but also just kind of really acknowledging, I suppose that it's like the awareness of the pain body, maybe, or the awareness of the contracted body, like, oh, that one, and look how it likes to have a story. So I don't feel so, it doesn't actually, I can see enough to know that it doesn't actually know anything, even though it keeps telling me, well, you must do it like this. It's like my dad, actually. We must have a system. Quite
Yeah.
kind of
Usually it's a parent
fatherly
voice. Yeah. Yeah.
that way.
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't know anything. I don't know what's going to happen, but it's just interesting. Somewhere in this, like, I mean, you're talking about that kind of extension, Paul, of wanting to share. I mean, I just want to, I just want to be happy and be in flow and seeing those habits and those old contracted ways. It's like, no,
Mm.
no,
Mm.
really.
Yep. In a way, we cannot not be in the flow. Sometimes we don't notice that. We are swimming against. Try to be in the flow. Yeah. Yeah, this with the movement and dance is something that resonates more and more and deeper here.
I don't have much thought about awakening. Those thoughts don't come to me very much. They only come because other people talk about them. I'm like, oh, awakening. Okay, this is thing.
Yeah, awakening is to follow what's true for you. This is
Yeah.
another way to say what awakening is.
I feel quite down to earth, almost like I'm going nowhere, really going nowhere. And
The best direction.
yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, the idea that there would be some happening. You know, I've had some experiences in meditation that were like, whoa, but that was just a moment of a something that was a nothing as well. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Mm.
I don't know, but something feels a bit more settled. I think maybe the seeking is quietening,
Mm.
and the dancing was.
Yeah, a seeking, softening or lessening is really a good thing. It's like all the system relaxes, softens a little bit. This restless seeking of something that we don't know what we're seeking for. It's like, what to do, what to do. Yeah, and when this softens, there is a nature of curiosity that arises. But it's very different from this restless seeking. Curiosity for dancing, for hiking, for whatever, being there, spending time in nature.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, and if worry voices come in, maybe from that controller, it's like, you're not really earning any money, Annabelle, you know, it says things like that. But then money just arrives. Like, it's funny how life does seem to
It takes care of itself in a way.
So yeah, I guess that I can feel that there's some of those old, yeah, it's those old habits, like they're just I don't know who it is, if it's another part of me or if it's awareness itself, kind of just going there to those parts and there. Just settle, little
Yeah,
one.
rest.
Well, and the welcoming, that was the other thing, the welcoming awareness. That's, yeah, when you were saying that, just welcoming. I noticed that, like, I know something might happen that brings up a bit of anxiety, but I'm noticing it and then go, oh, hello. Oh,
Yeah.
oh, yeah, it's okay. Yeah, but not it's not me. It's not all of me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Something.
Yeah, exactly. This may arise, but
Mm.
it's not what we are.
Mm.
And this is in.
Yeah. And it's just as simple to say, oh, you're welcome.
Beautiful.
And then
Yeah. Yeah, and we are here from where we hardly move. We never move from here.
Yeah, it's like life is just happening and nothing's happening. Kind of. Oh.
Yep.
But the mind wants to complicate. Like, I had a meeting earlier with someone, we're talking about creating a workshop, and I arrived feeling a bit like unprepared. I'm not quite sure what I should have done for this meeting. And then we're chatting and he's like, well, you've already run some courses before. What were the best bits? I'll get my best bits, you get your best bits, and let's see how they dance together. And he just said that, and it was like, oh God, yeah, that's really obvious. Like the mind comes in and it's like, ah, right, you're gonna build a skyscraper from scratch. It's gonna be really hard work. You're not working hard enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whole different way of seeing and being that is not from those habit old ways. It's just something
Yeah.
completely.
Yeah, well, we can notice how different it feels to live in this way of not with the old habits. And that's the best pointer or sign that, yeah, and our system, the whole being, naturally is drawn to the good stuff because it feels better. That's why the other feels constricted, feels like danced, feels something.
I
And
just
this is
life. It's like, oh, I think we just want to dance this. What? That analogy I'm learning through the dance. It's like, okay, let's bring this through.
beautiful.
Mm.
Mm.
It's funny, what you're talking about is reminding me of my job, and I work in advertising, and my job is like to come up with ideas for the ads, come up with the stories and whatever. And there's like two different ways of doing that. One is to be like, I have to come up with an idea as if I have any control over coming up with an idea, and it's so ironic that the only way to do it is just to stop trying to do it and wait for it to come and let go of the control a little bit. It's quite a good practice in itself. But it's funny, the mind does go like about I have to come up with 10 ideas in the next 2 hours, as if as if that was even possible to control, you know. And then all the thoughts come that you're like, well, I don't need to be thinking about that. But you can't control that either. It is like a dance, like you say.
Yeah, it feels so it feels so natural.
Well, I'm looking forward to more of that. Bring it on. I feel like there's been enough suffering, frankly. Got the yeah, got that badge.
And suffering is a great teacher.
Is it? No,
It is
I know, but
the best teacher, probably.
it's almost like acknowledging that, like that way of perceiving life with suffering. There's another way. It's just kind of simple.
Yeah, and this is how the system learns actually that there is
in it.
another way.
Not
Yeah.
another way, that you're just in it, aren't you?
Yeah. You are this way.
Yeah. To even perceive that is a way, or
Mm.
awareness of it as a thing, something that can be seen.
Yeah.
It does go against everything we've been taught, though, doesn't it? Like work hard, you've got to try, you've got to work harder. And I mean, I'm still not getting that lesson, even though like I'm being shown it so many times. Because I'll sit down, I have to book clients again. I'm in my own business, and so I'll sit down. There might be 10 phone calls to make. I've got to make these phone calls. I've got to get some money in. Got to book clients, and I'll sit down, push and push and push and push. Go through old ones I've rung before and ring them again because I haven't responded. I haven't heard back. Or just sit out the back, have a cup of coffee, and they ring me, and I book them.
Absolutely, yeah.
That's what happened yesterday. You know, I booked 2 yesterday. Doing anything. They rang me and booked.
Yeah.
It's quite funny though. I don't seem to get. There's still that underlying concern or worry or fear about the future. About I've got programs that I've built that I've spent months and months. Probably I don't want to add up how many hours I spent building them, and they're not going anywhere. So I have to develop a campaign. And I have to go out and promote it and do social media stuff. And it's just, I have no incentive to do it.
Yeah.
I can't be bothered.
Two things here that are, thank you, Michael, for bringing this, because it's again not yours, it's not personal, it's for all of us. So this is conditioned pattern, like very strong conditioned pattern. And we all have it, no exception, like we all have that. And when we start noticing how it plays, because it plays with, like it comes with the fear, right? It's like, oh, you have to do something, you're not going to survive. Oh, you have to take care. Like very gentle with that, very gentle with love, if it's possible. If not, just compassion. Something like, oh, my dear. Yeah, you didn't know. No one knew it. Yeah, this is deep stuff. It still operates. It's who knows how old is that? I mean, this, like, depending on where we were born, but wars, poverty, misery, lack. Yeah, this energy, this is playing. So we cannot fight with that, but we can rise above it and hold it, held it with love, compassion, gentleness. And just to not run there after it. Yeah, we are always being taken care of. Always, 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 always. No matter what. Even when we thought we were dying, we were being held. With love. I'm not sure I shared the last time because we go very rare. I'm not sure. I don't remember even when it was last time we went on a movie to watch something. But we went last week and we saw one gorgeous animated movie that I highly recommend to everyone I see. I can't stop talking about that. I think I'm gonna go to see it again. It's Flow. I think I share about that or no. But anyhow, I'm gonna share it again. The name of the movie is Flow, and it's very non-dual in my experience. And in this movie, if you watch it, you see how all the time the characters that are only animals, there are no humans, no words there, no human speech, only natural sounds of animals. They're being held all the time. It's like everything is taking care of itself. So if you have a chance to watch it, do so. Flow. Like a flow. Annabelle.
Perfect. Yeah, I'll watch that. I'll dance while I'm watching.
Thanks,
Oh my
Mike.
goodness, I cried and laughed and cried and laughed. It's beautiful. I think it ended with few awards like Golden Globe and Oscar. Just, it's not important, but just to put a little bit more interest.
I think for me as well, the controller, the planner, the doer is big in my life as well. But I think definitely over the last 12 months, that bit is relaxing And when there's things that do need doing, at the end of the day, stuff needs to get done sometimes. It's just sort of like relaxing in and then being more present with that process as well. So, if you've got to make calls, Michael, it's not as if don't make the calls, but, do it from a sense of, being present in the moment and enjoying it. So you can have a cup of coffee while you make the calls as well. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't have to be not stressing. If you don't do that, it's the end of the world and the story that goes with it. Sometimes stuff does need to do it, and just relaxing in that moment, being present, and doing it that way, as it were. That's what I've learned. I'm no expert, by the way, but that's what I've learned to do. Yeah.
No one is an expert. We are just folks here sharing.
Yeah, exactly.
There is that fear, though, that I wouldn't do anything because it's just so nice, just sitting out looking at the trees and the birds and listening to the sounds. And so
challenge that
fear.
fear. Challenge that fear.
Yeah.
Challenge it. It's not going to happen like that. Like the mind is saying, if I'm not here to tell you to call those people or to do these things, you're going to be just laying down. Yeah, that's not true. There is a natural response how this system operates and acts. And you're not going to become suddenly like someone who is going to lay down all day, night. Challenge that fear, yeah. Say, okay, let's see. I share that if I can, I would, but it's not possible.
And the opposite can be true with the mind. If you pick it up, that it's, why are you sitting down when you've got a massive to-do list over here? That's really, really important, so you can't afford your coffee and you're watching the birds. You must do. So that's what it picks up on, doesn't it?
Yeah, and sometimes we go on, Michael. I wanted to share something.
You go, Luchana. You go.
I wanted to share that sometimes the energy, this doing energy, because it's clear that no one is doing anything here. There is an energy that is coming through, and doing comes through that. So when this energy comes, sometimes it's not possible to just stop and not act on it. Like we start and we stand up and start doing things, but not we. It's like the energy moves. And when it's like when it is satisfied or when certain things are being done, and then, okay, there is relaxation. Yeah, again, without the story, no problem in anything. No problem in resting all day, no problem in doing all day, no problem in being lazy for a week. No problem at all. The only problem comes from this friend here.
There's even studies that it's not just non-dual talk either. I mean, there's a guy, I think it's Roger Libet, did studies, I think in the 90s, and the thought comes 500 milliseconds after the event. So even the physical apparatus shows that it's just making up a story after things happen.
Yeah.
And then I was lucky enough to live close to Sailor Bob Edmondson. So I've spent many, many hours in his lounge room listening to him. And one story he told us how someone rang him at some time, and he was ringing from a phone box. This is how old this story is. He was in a phone box ringing Sailor Bob. And he's going, well, I just won't do anything. And he goes, all right, we'll just see how long you last in the phone box. Just stay in the phone box and see how long you last.
Wow.
But yeah,
that is really funny.
It is.
Yeah, because I've just actually found Sailor Bob. I didn't know he existed until about 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, he passed away recently.
Yeah, I just learning about his teachings, and he taught someone else called John Wheeler. I don't know if you've heard of him. And very, very good. Yeah, I'm really resonating with what they're saying. So yeah.
Taylor Bob's amazing. Yeah.
I mean,
Jesus
that's
Christ.
another thing you can be overwhelmed by is the amount of amazing non-duality teachers there are. I don't know what it's doing.
Yeah.
It's a little bit like an addiction, isn't it?
Yeah.
Mind loves that.
Yeah.
And going back to your original thing, Luciano, there's actually
Mhm.
a YouTube video saying, "Why is everyone awakening and not me?" You know. So going back to what you were saying, that
Mhm.
there's videos on everything now these days, isn't there?
Just to bring it a bit, I don't know, a bit down to earth, so that I listened to this talk a little while ago. It was
Mhm.
a guy called Zubin. He has a podcast and he was talking about awakening
Mhm.
with his wife, and he was chatting with his friend, Angelo. So it's just a thing on, on the internet.
Mhm.
Zubin and Angelo chatting about this experience where Zubin and his wife had Suzanne Chang come to stay with them for a week. This is and the talk is like, a day or two after this, so it's very, very fresh. Basically, Zubin was really into non-duality, really into all this, doing all the study, all into awakening, blah, blah. His wife, not interested at all, just happily living her life, or not happily living her life, but not doing any seeking at all.
Mhm.
But then for some reason, I don't even know quite how it happened, that Suzanne Chang comes to be staying with them for a week. And she was getting on well with Zubin's wife, and they're just kind of hanging out with each other. And through the course of it, this woman became aware of some of the things that she wasn't talking. I'm really paraphrasing here, but
Mhm.
stuff that she hadn't been speaking about with her husband, where she was a bit annoyed about some stuff. There was a bit of resentment, and all this communication came out. And basically, it's so earthy. They just talked about the stuff that they weren't talking about, and awoken and awaked. I can't even say the word. Something happened that everything shifted and life had so much peace. But it's just really earthy stuff. Like this isn't, and I don't know. There was just something about that his wife had zero interest, but
Mhm.
for some reason she just realized that there was some stuff she should be saying that she hadn't been said. If I listen to it again, I'd remember the
Mhm.
details. But it's
Wow.
just really down to earth, isn't it?
It is. It
If
is
we
not something fancy. Yeah, it's
yeah, if
very
we
ordinary and simple. Yeah.
if we're like, caught up in shame and guilt and I shouldn't say this, I shouldn't say that, I shouldn't do this, I shouldn't do that, just awaken from those constricting thoughts by just being a normal person who speaks honestly and
Yeah, normal, like uh every like the wholeness, like expressing what's true.
yeah.
Yeah,
Well said.
beautiful, beautiful.
Just ordinary honesty, maybe. I don't know what
Mm.
it is.
Oh, I love that. I love also radically honesty, but ordinary honesty is even better. I love it.
Mm. That's part of the reason I love living up here in Manchester. Like people are much more down to earth. Obviously, that's a generalization, but you know, yeah, there's just a lot of straight talking.
Mm.
I don't know. I don't even quite know why I'm saying that, but I'm just it's a bit like in that thing of what's awake, like just to be an honest
Just to
person.
be an honest person and to be with in peace with yourself, and when you are interacting, to not calculate constantly what you're gonna say, what is the other thinking about me, and which is the whole self game.
Yeah.
Like to show up as you are, like as
And
we
then
are.
to play within that, I guess it's the dance, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like I went to see my neighbor yesterday to borrow a ladder, and he's like, "Where's my hammer that you borrowed off me a year ago?" And he's just like taking the piss out of me. But it's just like really ordinary talk, but it's
Mm.
being said. Other people might be like, oh God, how am I going to find a way to ask her for that hammer that she's still not given back to me? It's just like, bleh, just all just comes out and down to earth.
Mm.
Yeah, I guess I'm just seeing where that's as much of what it's all about.
Mm.
It's awakening, whatever that is.
Yeah, that's lovely.
Are you going to give him
Downward.
his ladder back, or are you going to keep that as well?
Hammer and his ladder, they're both back, yeah.
Mm. Oh, guys, so lovely being with you. Mm.
You, Luchana.
Mm. Thank you. Yeah, no one here not awake. No one anywhere not awake. Mm. Mm. Yeah, I guess we can leave it like that. And yeah, again, much love. Thank you so
Thank you so
much
much.
for
Yeah.
coming and being here. And see you next week.
Nice to meet you all.
Thanks for chatting.
Nice to meet you, Eileen.
Nice
Hope
Nice
to
to
see
meet
you
you
again.
too. Thanks, everyone.
See you later.
See you.
Much
Bye.
love. See you. Bye bye.